We now join the following program already in progress.
Come play with us, Jeffy, forever and ever and ever.
Descended from the same family tree as Lancelot Link, Curious George, and the Space Monkeys of yore, a simple family rock band has dared to go where no band has gone before. In these pandemic times, we need Secret Monkey Weekend now more than ever. So without any further ado, settle into your favorite chair, call your neighbors, because it's time for the Secret Monkey Quarantine Half-Hour Show.
Who goes there?
Happy Halloween! Welcome back to another episode of the Secret Monkey Quarantine Half-Hour Show. This week's guests are Kenny, Roby, and Paul Messenger. We'll also be having I Want My Daddy's Records in a short film by me, so please enjoy.
Raise your right paw, your right hoof, your right tentacle, whatever you might have.
I shall sing no song that is not a secret monkey song. I shall make no record that is not a secret monkey record. I refuse to be known as anything but a secret monkey singer. I am proud to be associated with the secret monkey music. Secret monkey music and secret monkey fans made me what I am today, and I shall not forget it.
There's another one original called Honey Nut. Kingdom come to your own drum. I'll be there. No, I will. Won't be long. You just wait there. Honey, num, you're no fun. On the highway, waving your thumb. Dinner's on, come get you some. Why must you run? I'll be there. No, I will. Won't be long. You just wait there. How long have we known each other? How far back? Do I have to spell it all out for you? Dance with me to kingdom come to your own drum. I'll be there, oh I will, won't be long. You just wait there.
Nom nom, honey nom nom, honey nom 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 nom. Nom nom, honey nom nom.
Next, a short film by Lila.
Welcome to another episode of. We're going to start right off with a marvelous record. Anybody knows?
Muddy Waters.
So, whose is this?
Yours, I hope.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's a great record. Look at that. Yep. I think I've had this about 30 years. All
Or
right.
you too.
Every time I see YouTube, I get this feeling of deja vu that we've had it on before. Do you know whether we've had this one on before?
I don't think we have.
Okay, you
I
can see
only know Gloria.
Okay, anyway, we've clearly have a lot of U2 in this family. Anybody want to guess whose this is?
Probably Mom's.
I think it's mine because it's got tape on the edge. I used to do that because I was trying to protect my
Oh, okay.
fraying records. All right, Cream.
That's yours.
Yep, it is mine. Oh, it's kind of a psychedelic cover there, Disraeli Gears.
Sunshine of Your Love, World of Pain, Dance the Night Away, I know that one. Blue Condition, I thought that said Blue Canadian.
Can you read it?
Ugh, I'm
No.
like looking at the
It is
eye.
kind of hard, yeah. Anyway,
And RBQ, Christmas Wish.
any guesses?
That's yours.
Yes, it is. In fact, I have an NRBQ story. Gosh, the cover is a little destroyed there. I wonder what happened there. I've always loved it as a battery charger as a gift under the tree. That's so funny. The other day, I actually was singing, Johnny Old St. Nicholas, and nobody in the house even knew what that song was.
I know that song.
You know, like, Lila wants a pair of skates, Ella wants a dolly.
Oh, wait, no, I don't. I'm thinking of another one.
Okay.
I've never heard that in my entire
I
life.
swear. Well, Laura didn't even hear it. I'm just
Yeah.
completely baffled by that. That's just
Yeah.
a very...
We were singing that
I love
the
this
other
record.
day. We thought he was insane.
Okay, Other Mothers.
Oh,
They Place Like Home.
probably Dad's.
No, it's mine.
What about
They were
Mother?
rock gods from Greensboro in the mid to late 80s, and the Ghosts of Illinois State gigged twice with them. Al, Randall, Dan, Tom, Steve. Robert Kirkland produced it. Anyway, they sort of came out of retirement, and I saw a show they did in Greensboro about 10 years ago, and that's kind of how we renewed our friendship and everything.
There's a band I like with a similar name. Mother.
Okay, George Harrison.
That's yours.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
has to be.
You know, we have a poster that's
Yeah.
from this
Yeah.
This was other than All Things Must Pass. This has been my favorite George Harrison record, and I think to this day, it's still my second favorite George Harrison record. It's just a great sound. He sort of was in the wilderness a few years where he just put out some weak albums, and this one came back really strong with Cracker Box Palace and this song. It's just a fine record, and I've, gosh, True Love, Pure Smoky, Learning How to Love You, Woman Don't You Cry for Me. God, everything on here is really good. All right, have I said enough about that? Hey, guess what?
Huxley.
I think we talked about this when he was on our show. Yeah, I need to play this again. It's been a while. But yeah, there's some great stuff on here. All right.
All time country and western.
All right, whose is this? No, I think this is another hand-me-down from, my next-door neighbor who passed away. He was a minister, a preacher.
Oh, okay.
And let's see, Webb Pierce, Kitty Wells, Red Sovine, Loretta Lynn, Bill Anderson. Some pretty good stuff on here. Patsy Cline, Wilburn Brothers, Bill Monroe, Red Foley, Ernest Tubb, Kitty Wells, Red Foley.
Madness.
Okay.
I like the cover of that. Fun.
Anybody?
Is that yours?
No, I think it's probably your dad's. Ska.
This one was stuck in.
Oh, we're stuck in there. Missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I remember seeing this. Okay, anybody? Haircut 100.
Pelican West.
Is that yours?
No. I remember them, but for the life of me, I can't remember what their one-hit wonder was, if that's what it even was. Let's see. Love Plus One, maybe? Huh. No idea. I just remember the name. Sorry, 80s. Well, that's another episode of See You Next Time.
Now, a song by Kenny Roby.
Oh, the silver moon is fading in the darkness on the night that we chose to say goodbye. Just a sliver of the nail on the last of the fingers, holding on before it slips into the sky. All our friends are gathered round in our old church, singing further along, we'll all know why. With our hats and our fans and our hearts in our hands, as we sing our last bitter sweet goodbye. Oh, the silver moon is fading in the darkness on the night that we chose to say goodbye. Just a sliver of the nail on the last of the fingers, holding on before it slips into the sky. Holding on before it slips into the sky. I've laid awake at night and I have cried myself to sleep, wondering why you had to leave us here so soon. I will never understand the hearts and minds of other men, so I pray here to the one who hung the moon. Oh, the silver moon is fading in the darkness on the night that we chose to say goodbye. Just a sliver of the nail on the last of the fingers, holding on before it slips into the sky. holding on before it slips into the sky.
We'd like to welcome Kenny Roby to the Secret Monkey Quarantine Half-Hour Show.
Hello.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. So
Thanks for having me.
So you're up north now.
I am. I grew up in upstate South Carolina. Now I'm in upstate New York.
Doggone.
Yeah, I'm actually in Woodstock proper, inside city limits, just outside of downtown.
Well, what's it like up there now? Is it? I imagine people are socially distancing and everything, but what's it like? I don't know. I've never been. Tell me what it's like up there.
It's beautiful. You know, a lot of people from the Southeast, including Levon Helm, you know, said it reminds them a lot of home. You know, I mean, reminds me of upstate South Carolina and Western North Carolina. You know, it's the same mountain range or part of the same mountain range from the Appalachian Mountains. And so sort of similar type of rock and just vibe, you know, when you drive up from, you know, up the thruway from New York City, as I did when I first came up here to do my record, The Reservoir, back last fall, a year ago, it sort of felt like home. And I think there's even a quote somewhere on some poster somewhere around town from Levon saying that when he came up here, it kind of felt like home back in the, you know, in Arkansas, Ozarks, and sort of that area. Yeah, so it's beautiful. Yeah, I live on Levon Helm Boulevard, actually.
Oh my gosh!
For him. Yeah, oddly enough. So.
Ella,
mind if I interject with a question?
Please.
Does the Big Pink still exist? And if so, have you visited it?
I am happy to say that Big Pink still exists, and I am sorry to say that I've not visited yet, which sounds strange. And I haven't been to Bethel, where the original Woodstock was, but I've had some friends, actually, Caroline Mamalidis and Steve Howell came up here. I guess it was right before quarantine happened, and they went out and visited, and they said it was really cool just to sort of. They didn't do, I don't think, the museum or anything. They said it was really cool just to be in the presence of the big field and everything, which is cool. But yeah, Big Pink exists, and now it is. I think it's an Airbnb. Somebody owns it and rents it out, so you could actually rent it out and stay there. It's kind of expensive, but you know, you could actually, you know, bring some recording gear in there probably and do some recordings. I know some people. I think I saw something the other day from a few years back that His Golden Messenger and Phil Cook and a couple of folks did a little video thing, acoustic, like they stayed at the house for a few days and did some acoustic stuff. So yeah, it's still going.
Yeah, I heard that, the Airbnb aspect, Park Peterball mentioned that he went there maybe late last year. Yeah. Well, tell us about your new album, Kenny. I know it's been out since August, The Reservoir. Mm-hmm. Tell us about your new album.
Well, actually, it's named for the Ashokan Reservoir, which is just down the road from me, which is, it's kind of strange. We're kind of far away, like an hour and 40 minutes from New York City, but it supplies New York City with, like, I think 70 or 80% of their drinking water, the two different basins of the reservoir. But that's just sort of a fun fact. It's a long record. It's I did my good music business move like I always do and made a slow singer-songwriter record that's a double album, you know. Maybe that's the contrarian in me, but we just felt like it needed it. I did it up here in Woodstock, and that's when I sort of fell in love with this area. We were supposed to do it in California, and when my friend and who was supposed to be the producer for it, Neil Casal, died, we decided to do it on the East Coast and closer to where some of the musicians were, up and around New York City and Connecticut. So we considered doing it in the barn, but they didn't quite at Levon's barn, but it wasn't quite the setup we were looking for. Even though we love the idea of it, and we kind of found the next closest thing, which was a place called Applehead Studios, which actually has some of the gear from the old Bearsville studio where the band recorded, and that famous-ish Bobby Charles self-titled record was recorded that Rick Danko produced and a lot of other things. So, yeah. So that's some fun facts. That's about all I got, unless you have specific questions.
Yeah. Well, Lila, I think, has a question for you.
Okay.
This is not a really music-related question, but I know the
Shoot.
baseball season's been kind of short this year, but have you been keeping up with it at all?
You know, I didn't keep up. I didn't keep up with it this year as much as I have in the past, for a couple of reasons. Just because I was just in a different frame than a baseball frame of mind. Lately. Part of that is probably because my sons, who are 20, almost 21 and 23, are out of the house and out of college. And that was sort of a family thing, big time, that we did. I coached some, and we would go to a lot of games and watch a lot of games together. So I didn't sort of have that nudge in the direction. And I don't know why I didn't watch as much, but I've been watching the playoffs, and they've been great. I'm looking forward to the World Series starting. And I love these two, especially these two championship series. I think they've been great. And I don't care if there's an asterisk next to it. It's entertaining and it's fun, and that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm not worried about records and all that stuff.
Yeah,
those guys all still competed with each other on the level that they competed in. I'm not so much of a traditionalist as I used to be with some of that stuff. I think that's a little stick in the mud.
Yeah. That's a good answer.
What team do you support?
I've pulled for a lot of teams. I've been a Cubs fan on and off for years. It's funny because, I grew up in the South, and we had super stations on cable, which was TBS that had the Braves and WGN that had the Cubs. And I would come home from middle school, or it was junior high where I was from, and elementary school, and there would be afternoon games, because that was back when there was no lights at Wrigley in the 80s yet. And even when they were still doing a lot of day games. And so that would be what was on TV. And I was sort of a little bit rebellious against the Braves, because they were just from a few hours down the road. And I kind of couldn't pull for the Braves a little bit.
Yeah.
So. They weren't easy to pull for in the 80s either.
I was sort of the same way. It's like the Braves were on all the time, and all my friends liked them. But I liked the Orioles since I was about 8, so I just stuck with them. But yeah, it has been a strange season, but I have enjoyed seeing it, even even with the paper cutouts in the stands and the piped in noise. They were still trying, to bring some kind of normalcy, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and honestly, it's on TV, so it's all sort of 2D anyway. So, with the camera work and everything. So that's not, of course, we can't be there watching baseball in person, which is the best. But yeah, I don't, whatever. We all have to make adjustments in life and with this pandemic and everything, and try to look at things as positive as we can, or at least be neutral,
Sure.
And not get so worked up over silly things.
Yeah. Well, Kenny, I wish we had more time with you today. These interviews just slip by before you know it. Maybe we'll just hang up and call you back later, and it'll just be to chew the fat. But thanks for spending some time with us today. I'm really glad you got to meet the girls, at least virtually, and they got to meet you.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, y'all, on doing the Jeffrey Dean Foster stuff and all of the recent accomplishments. Keep up the hard work. It seems to be paying off.
Well, Kenny, thanks again, and it's been a real pleasure.
And now, a song by Paul Messenger.
Can't breathe. Imagine if you can a fellowship of man with voices ringing true. It's you and you and you that can't breathe. You can't breathe. You can't breathe. Can't breathe. Imagine, if you will, a shining city on a hill. Its people full of light, secure, they know their rights. They can't breathe, they can't breathe, they can't breathe, can't breathe. Now see the people press against the glass distressed. Their parents there they lie, unventilated, left to die. They can't breathe. They can't breathe. They can't breathe. Can't breathe. Imagine, please you must, that certainty of trust, a nation stirred anew, colored red, then white, then blue. It can't breathe, it can't breathe, it can't breathe, can't breathe, it can't breathe. Can't breathe, it can't breathe, can't breathe.
Our next guest is a Chapel Hill singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist, but who is perhaps most known for his harmonica work, longtime Baltimore Orioles fan Paul Messenger.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. That's it.
But Paul, tell us what you've been doing the last 6 months and how has it been different than, say, a year ago?
There you go. A year ago, I was in Germany, I guess. Everybody, I mean, the whole music industry, everybody, I think, is going to have to rethink things. I mean, people have spent decades developing their brand, you know, working on their art, you know, and really made a commitment to doing this. I mean, it's each one of them are going to have to figure out how to proceed, you know, and it's not going to be the same for anybody. And you know, there's been a lot of conversation, you know, in our world and with venues and musicians and different things. And I think my clear conclusion, and this is a lot from my experiences in Europe, is that Americans are going to have to make a commitment to support live music. It means they're going to have to pay for it. You know, venues can't take the risk in building their businesses up again to to pay bands, pay talent, and not have return. It's going to have to become part of how we do things. The last couple of years, I've really been working in Europe. Who knows why it happened, but I can tell you, I'm a lot more well known in Denmark and Germany than I am in Durham and Raleigh. But the thing that one of the reasons I was attracted to Europe as a writer of serious stuff is that they're really into the idea of making art, and they support it. A lot of in order to escape the taxes, a lot of the way things are done there is by the hat. Which, if this was in America, you'd think like, "Are you effing kidding me?" Right?
Yeah.
But in Europe, I made 500 euros, in different situations in the hat with just a few people.
Yeah.
I have a friend that I've been working with, and this is part of the answer of what I've been doing the last 6 months. He is, he's a concert artist in Germany. His name is Robert Karl Blank. He and I toured together last year, and he's taking anything that he can get. And he did this show. It's a big beer garden, and but because of social distancing rules and stuff, they could only fill it 25%.
Right.
Now he made 1,000 euros in that show, not counting merch.
Wow.
Yeah, it's it's by the hat.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a different deal. Americans, we can't count on Americans to do that.
Yeah.
Right? So, to me, the only answer is that when things start rolling again, people are going to have to pay a cover charge and have to kind of understand that that's what's necessary, and it's also the right thing to do.
Well, have you, I noticed that, with the clip that we have for you, that's a recent composition. And have you because of the stay at home, have you been more active as a writer in the last 6 months, 7 months?
Yeah, and I'm going to be doing, I guess, my 5th studio record, and I appreciate you convincing me to feel confident in putting that out. Because again, a lot of people really don't know what I do as a songwriter. They know me as a harmonica player.
Yeah.
And I would have liked one of my really well-produced, beautiful, interesting videos out, and you convinced me, no, that one is art and has a vibe, and that's why I did it for myself, and then I put it out. And when I looked at it again, I said, "Yeah, he's right. It does. It has a vibe. I'll trust it, and I'll trust your."
Yeah. To me, it was just one of the. With one man and one instrument, it was one of the more creative things that I've seen this year, and on our show. It was just really well done, and I'm glad I was able to convince you.
Yeah, well, I trusted you, and because you do care about art, and I'll say this to you guys, and you guys don't know me that well. Jefferson knows me a little bit more. I've always been very moved by your story. I lost a child 12 years ago, 21 years old, so. I very much believe that, I'm married 36 years now. My goal in life was to fall in love and live happily ever after, which I've done with a lot of risk and a lot of challenges, of course, in any relationship. But when I saw Jefferson get married at that age and then have a family, I was so happy for him. And then, who would have ever imagined this happened? You guys were receptive to. Music is such a beautiful thing. I'm 67 years old, guys, and you can have music with you your entire life. I'm more engaged with music and more creative and more excited about it than I've ever been in my life. So what a beautiful thing, and what a blessing. I'm so happy for you guys.
Well, I definitely agree with you, and I feel it every day. And our story sort of began with tragedy, and we've sort of been able to do what we did or have done since. Lila, now, your big sister got the opening for the show, so you have the closing. So it's up to you to do our goodbye.
Alrighty then. Well, Paul, we really had a great time talking to you, and we really loved what you had to say, and it's just been a really great time, and we hope we can talk with you again, and maybe we can contact you another time on Zoom or on a call, and hopefully once the pandemic's over, we can talk to you in person.
Paul, thank you for being with us today. Girls, let's have a big round of applause for our friend here.
All right. Call me up if you want to talk about harmonica.
Absolutely.
I'll give you your first lesson.
Absolutely. They gave me harmonica for my birthday, so I think we're kind of tuned in at the very least.
Absolutely. Well, I'm serious about that. I'm not just saying it. I would love to do that for you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, that's all for this week's show. We're taking November 1st off for Jeff's birthday, but November 8th will be our season finale with Mitch Easter and Will Rigby. See you then.